everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise. For today's video, we have a bit of a hot topic going on. There was just a really big patch, and let's just say, people aren't happy. Alright, so welcome. Yeah, I'm covering King Arthur on this channel full time now. It is going to be the focus. It isn't just my 1-week series, if you haven't noticed. And if this is your first time finding me, I do have Bell's palsy, which is why I look like a derpy pirate. So hopefully my face is unfrozen eventually, but for now I'm still really winky. Okay, and yeah, so we just had a patch, which we knew was happening, and there was this tiny little sentence that said, hero rebalances, and that's it. But now we know what they are, and they're big. I definitely don't agree with people being extremely negative. Yet again, it's another game where I'm sick. It's not the first time I see people doing the whole grab your torch and pitchforks mentality, as I want to call it. And I don't agree with it. People are freaking out. Personally, I disagree. I'm like, guys, this is early access, aka a soft launch or a technical launch. This is the time to make buffs, nerfs, other things happen before it's technically global, before global. Now, if you're willing to spend during a technical launch, early access phase, when everything is subject to change via, you know, everything is subject to change. They always put in, let's see, do they have any good examples? Everything they say is things are subject to change. I guess it's in the main post themselves. Yeah, in the main post themselves. Oh, partner program. Hey, that's what I'll be doing after this video. But they always have a disclaimer at the end of like anything they put out saying that, you know, like this is not global, like this is not global, right? This is not global. Maintenances are going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I just really think we need to remember that this is the time for this sort of thing to happen. Because so much changed since the last beta, it should have been completely expected that there were going to be big changes now as well. I really do think that. But yeah, I'm sorry. This is... I know I'm leading with the response before the read, so I think we should just get into it, guys. We could talk for hours about this, but at the end of the day, I think, let's see, do they say it here? Okay, this is just replying to the maintenance. There's been so many things where they say everything is subject to change before global, and now I can't find them, go figure. Probably these guides and the other dev notes and all that stuff. All right, but this is just a simple patch notes, but a lot changed, right? Okay, so again, guys, remember, if I really feel like if you're in an early access phase of a game, it's not global launch. Things can change, good or bad, dramatic or simple, not at all, or again, dramatic, whatever. I think that's just what comes with the territory of being willing to play an early access phase. So feel free to disagree with me, but that is just something I strongly feel as far as a game goes. Now, if this happened once everything is officially globally launched, should we expect more hero resets in full or other better compensation? Yes, but it's not global launch yet, so let's get into it. All right, I rambled enough about oh god, I'm prepping you guys if you haven't read this yet, as you can tell. So, known issues when triggering conditions for certain skills are displayed incorrectly. Oh, they were displayed incorrectly. So, when an ally is attacked, the correct trigger is after an attack. Okay. And then skills affected were Bedivere's Chivalry Tier 8, Lot's Tier 3, Gareth's Tier 3, and then in Adventure Mode, one of the monster skills. There's an issue where the description of Guinevere's Frost Relic was incorrectly displayed as 9% of Guinevere's max HP for the shield. The correct value is 15, so actually better than what it said. We have all of these new events popping, so Bedivere is a rate-up summon now. We have Hero Power-Up, Relic Power-Up, Monster Hunter Ranking, Gold Collecting, and Arena Challenge event. So regarding all the events, I might do a separate video on that if I need to, but we're just going to skip through that now and keep reading the patch notes, the official notes. Improves the arena matching system. And then a fixed item for challenging the power-up dungeon 8th floor. That was messed up. They were giving common instead of uncommon for a higher stage. And then fixed an issue where the shield by Guinevere's passive 3 was incorrectly displayed as 20, not 100% as it should be. So, a couple just typos, I guess. UI improvements fixed an issue in the power-up guide with the source list materials incorrectly displayed as source from normal difficulty instead of hard. Fixed issue where the difficulty to unlock each content was not displayed. Fixed an issue where the icon of the expected clear reward from the adventure mode's treasure chest, the mimic chest, and the actual received rewards were displayed differently. Improved the source list. Improved descriptions. So, or description improvements. They added Guinevere's flame relic should say the shield is 5% of her max HP. Improved the description of Nicholas's Chivalry 3 hidden purpose. Added the cooldown of 4 turns that was missing in the description. Improved the description of Rosier, Chivalry Tier 8 about the duration of inflict damage over time effect. If the target has inflict damage over time, to if the target has bleed. It's just bleed, which is what her kit is based around. Adds the skill factor transparent throwing star to Tristan's Chivalry 8 Blade Storm. Attacks 1 enemy 5 times. Total damage 100%. Each point of attack speed increases damage per hit. Total additional damage per point, 0.6% of attack. And then improves the description of Trigrev's Frost Relic, skill 2. It says now triggers mark explosion if the target has mark. Which, I mean, you can't explode something if it's not there, so that should be obvious anyway. Improves the description of Bedivere's Chivalry 2, Oath of Honor. To say gain Pierce increase 1 for 1 turn. Okay, only the descriptions have been modified. None of the skills have been changed, but some have been. So, Merlin, oh boy. His Flame Relic active skill 2. It's going to be changed to positive effects no longer influenced by the resistance stats. Okay, the attack gauge, charge, and recovery from Phoenix Ashes was affected by the allies. It's just in general, positive effects. Okay, so that's definitely not bad. Frost Relic. It used to be the attack gauge charge from Frozen Remains was affected by the allies' resistance stats, but now positive effects are no longer influenced by resistance stats. So just in general, instead of saying specific things, just the general, any positive effect. Okay. Cormac. Passive skill 1, Irish Memorial. It used to be when attacking, gain a defense increase 1 for 1 turn, which it still has. Then it changed. What changed? Oh, okay. They buffed him. So if there are 3 or more enemies, inflicts a chance to 100% chance to inflict damage dealt decrease 2 up to 3 now on enemies for 2 turns. So there is a buff for Cormac. Boar's Flame Relic, active skill 3, Fairy Sweep. It used to be attacks all enemies. Damage is 68% attack plus 3% max HP. That is still the same. The only difference is, oh, okay, a buff where the 70% chance to grant all allies counterattack damage increase 2 is up to 3 turns instead of 2 turns. That's nice. So they did buff some rares already. That's good to see. All right, Frost Relic, active skill 3, Erupting Chill. Attacks all enemies 3 times. So the same thing here. Damage 78% of attack plus 3.3% max HP. And then again, it's the same thing. Just same kind of thing, just 80% chance to do it instead of that one, and 3 turns instead of 2 turns. And again, with the Storm Relic, 70% chance for that same buff and 3 turns instead of 2 turns. But they did spell it out separately to be very clear for all artifacts. All right, Gareth, another rare. Fire, Frost, and Storm Relics, active skill 1. Exhaustive Fist has changed to a 30% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn. So they increased your chance from 20 to be able to stun. So there is a buff to Gareth's active skill 1. All right, Arthur, passive skill. So it previously level 3 gave passive cool time -1, and now it's doing critical strike rate turns +1. Okay, so just a total change there. Kryden, another rare passive skill, raging darkness. So this is at level 2, increased attack, defense, increased turns for +2 instead of +1. So that's when you skill them up, it gets a bit better. And Nocturnal Fae. So max uses is +2 instead of +1, and default use is 2 instead of 1 for that passive skill. That's nice. I hate when it's like you come into a battle, you get one really cool thing once, then that's it. It's just so situational and really like only good for what? Arena and nothing else. So that's nice. Clarison, legendary. All right, Chivalry tier 4. So she got a buff that her reverberating charismatic inflicts invasion decrease rate 3 on all enemies for 3 turns instead of 2 turns. I know people aren't too excited about her, so that's a nice little buff. And then there's this one too. Okay, this might be a big one, actually. Jaw Twister damage goes to 83% from Chivalry tier 8. Oh god, not that we all have 8 copies of Clarison. Or, yeah, not yet. And then instead of 59%. But okay, at least they buffed a Chivalry to make her do more damage. Alright, so Bedivere actually got a buff. Not that he isn't already amazing, but his Storm Relic, active skill 2 Gale Spear, it went to 140% attack as the damage instead of 126. So, nice one there. Okay. They want to make sure Bedivere is like the guy, right? I like that, honestly. Not gonna lie. I mean, he doesn't come with his Storm Relic, just to be clear, guys. If anyone's summoning for Bedivere, he does come with the Frost one, right? That has the AoE on the skill 3. If I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he comes with the Storm Relic. I have him. Alright, Morgan. Storm Relic, active skill 3, Eye of Disaster. So it looks like, let's see, what's the change? Okay, so it was a 60% chance to inflict sleep for 1 turn. That's still the case. Wait, it's the same thing, they just put the order differently. Oh, because then you wake them up accidentally. So now it's going to be, first you have the chance to inflict recovery disruption for 1 turn, and then you have a chance to sleep them after. The order matters because I'm guessing if you place the buff after with the second hit or whatever, or that's the second thing that's red, then you would wake up the sleep. That's funny. Okay, I like that. That's interesting. All right, Gillian, another legendary. So she didn't have a cooldown before for passive skill 3, flexible diplomacy. Now there's a cooldown of 1. So a little bit of a nerf, I would say, right? Turin, which this one's so silly. Oh my god. So they nerfed Turin, who's like the worst healer of them all, but still okay. But this is, I saw something like, why would they nerf Turin? She wasn't even OP to begin with. But yeah, this is a rare Chivalry 8. 100% max HP recovery with no cooldown to 30% max HP recovery with 1 cooldown. That's a big nerf, but whatever. Passive skill 2, Darkwood's Grace, 100% max recovery, cooldown of nothing to 30% and 1 cooldown. It's so silly that they would nerf like the worst hero. That's for the healing. Not the worst, but in the realm of, she's definitely not, like Sarah and Isolde and Clementine are all above using her at this point, I would say, right, guys? So it's weird that they would make her worse instead of better so she can be used more often like they are. That's a weird one. Definitely don't agree with that change. Nicholas, Flame Relic, active skill 2, Heretical Flame. So this changed to more damage. Attacks up to 2 random enemies. 108% per hit from 70%. That's pretty solid. And then his Storm Relic was only 54% attack per hit, up to 108% as well. So big damage boost for Nicholas. That is a rare. Also, Ban is a rare. This is the one people are really unhappy about because a lot of people invested their resources to get Ban to have max chivalry. And when you reset a hero, you don't get chivalry back. So, okay, before I even read this, I already know it's bad. But other people in the comments are like, did you guys even still try him? He still hits harder than every other DPS. Like, he's still the best or whatever. I don't think he's as bad as people say, but... Or as some people were reacting, like it reads bad, but it's not actually as bad. He's still, like, the best. But I think in hindsight, like, could the company have given us better compensation along with the update of all of these hero changes? Could they have provided some sort of reset event where you actually can get his chivalry resources back too if you spent the universal ones? Yes, that would be nice. However, I think that's feedback we give them to be clear about, like, if this happens at global, we expect to be able to get our chivalry back, not just a general reset coin where if we spent universal stuff, it's gone forever on a character we're no longer going to use. We expect to get chivalry and everything back. If we can reset the hero, let us really reset the hero, right? It's kind of silly that you can't get chivalry back. I mean, I think you should get the chivalry back that if anything you spent was universal, versus if it's just dupes of the hero, then who cares? Like, at the end of the day, just let them be on the character still, but you should get back universal chivalry, like the resources for that. So, could they have done better? Yes. How will Fateless and Godforge reply to something like this during our soft launch technical phase before global? I don't know yet, so don't put that on me, guys. If anyone has comments, oh, is that what Godforge is gonna do? No, I don't know what they're gonna do. That's above my pay grade. I'm just the one who communicates. So, but personally, yeah, I think the company could have done better. I will agree. They should have given people a real reset feature for changing some of these heroes, like Turin and stuff as well, who's now, like, very meh if you already did put resources into her, if you liked her as your healer. And I guess we'll read Ban now as well. Ban with a Storm Relic was super OP, and oh, they changed everything for Ban. But I think the problem was he was, like, almost as good, or in some cases better than Bedivere, which should definitely not be the case. That should get balanced. That's fair. I don't know, but anyway, I still think it's not global launch, so it's the risk we take by playing a game that's not out fully yet. It's just part of the risk you take, I think. I really do. I'm not mad. I spent money on, if they completely change the characters that I spent money on, it is what it is. I was stupid and I spent money during early access. I shouldn't have. Unless I was, you know, we're paying for our entertainment, right? Okay, sorry, I'm rambling again. Ban, Flame Relic, Active Skill 2, Furious Strikes. So this got a buff, right? I think oh no, it's total, less. So his Flame Relic, total extra damage per point is to 0.2% from 0.6% for the extra damage based on attack speed. So that got a nerf. Let's see, Flame Relic here. Same thing. Oh, that was huge. Oh my god, the Flame Relic was really crazy. It was 1.2% attack per attack speed. Now it's only 0.3. Ouch. Frost Relic. Frozen Rush here. Okay. So, same thing. It was 0.9% based on his attack speed. Now to 0.2% based on his attack speed. And then same thing, 0.6 to 0.2 for the points per attack speed on the hero. Now, the big one that everyone really loved was this Storm Relic for him. Attacks one enemy 4 times. Nice hitter. It was 1.2 and now it's 0.2. They literally, ouch. That's a lot. I definitely get being like, holy crap. I 100% understand. And I'm glad I haven't built him yet, because I have other heroes to build anyway, like Bedivere, who I already have. But yeah, that definitely is rough. And it sucks at the end of the day if he was one of your main heroes you were using. Especially because he's a rare, you're like, oh. But at the end of the day, the rares should not be better than legendaries for the most part, unless it's in a rare can be maybe better than a legendary that's good at everything if the rare is really good in a niche situation, I think. But should they be like the best damage dealer in the game or whatever? No. Or close to it? No. But can they be really, 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 really good in a very close option? Sure. But that's why balance is needed. Storm Relic, Ravaging Tornado. So same thing here, 1.5% to 0.4% based on the attack speed increase. Yeah, that's rough, guys. And then they changed the damage here a little bit from 35, 35, 35 with the level ups to 25, 30, 40. So they just threw the numbers around differently. And his Chivalry 8 got changed from Grant Self, Fierce Blade for 2 turns, to grant Self, Fierce Blade, and Drain Increase for 2 turns. And the Drain Increase of 15% has been added. So they added a Drain Increase to his Chivalry 8. Okay, that's a huge damage hit though. But I think, I don't know. That's a lot. It is a lot, but it doesn't mean he's not still completely usable and still amazing. So we have to see how he really plays still. Are all of your places you used him, is he now irrelevant or not? We have to find that out first, I guess. But either way, again, it's not global launch. It's only early access. I always thought that was funny. Like, I thought people kind of overreacted in Dragonair when it was the beta testing too, like about some things, because you're like, it's beta. Like, if they make changes, like, it is what it is. But the problem is they didn't respond to any feedback during beta that resulted in the same things happening at global launch. And the global launch was a traumatic hot mess for Dragonair. Hopefully that won't be the case for King Arthur. Alright, Tristan, Flame Relic, Spectral Dance, attacks one enemy 8 times. This is the big one. This one's fun. So they nerfed Tristan's damage the same way of Bedivere. Attack speed increase per hit from 0.3. Oh wait, no. That's a buff. Oh hey, they buffed Tristan's Flame Relic to be 0.6% from 0.3%. To be fair, they're bringing him up to the same kind of idea as Bedivere, who's a rare, so that makes sense. Okay, I thought they nerfed Tristan. So maybe they did nerf something. Alright. Total damage per 0.6 to 0.3. Okay, this one they nerfed. So they buffed the active skill 3, but nerfed the active skill 4. Or sorry, 2. From 0.6 to 0.3. Weird. This is the big one though. This is the 8 hitter. That's crazy. But we use the active skill 2s more often, I would say. So it's kind of a bummer. Attacks 1 or 2 random enemies. Attacks 1 enemy, then a random enemy. Okay, this is better. This is like a buff and a nerf at the same time. So you can make sure it attacks who you're targeting first, and then it attacks a random enemy afterward. Versus all the attacks being completely random from the start. So that's a little bit of both. So Tristan's definitely a mix of buffs and nerfs. Let's see, same thing, 0.3 to 0.6. So this Frost Relic active skill 3 got a buff. And then the active skill 3 here also got a, oh wait, what's the difference? Oh, Storm Relic. Frost Relic active skill 3 got a buff, increased damage. And Storm Relic active skill 3 got a buff for the increase of damage. Okay, and then his Chivalry 8 got a dramatic nerf. I mean, I don't know that many people have Chivalry 8 on Tristan already, unless you're a whale, and that's another story, but 670% attack to 100% attack, and only 1.5 to 0.6 per. That's a big nerf on the Chivalry 8. Ouch. But I doubt that any Kraken was spending to specifically get Tristan up. Not that you could choose anyway, or used your special resources on Tristan specifically compared to a Bedivere, which you definitely have if you're a Kraken and could afford to buy that many duplicate materials to get the Chivalry to 8 to begin with. So this won't affect most people because we didn't have it to begin with. Tigrev, this is the uncommon that has mark on like every skill. That's good for the red dragon boss. So he got a nerf. Why? It's not like he was. Why would they nerf it from 0.3 to 0.1%? Ouch. Okay, that's silly. That's silly. He's not OP to begin with. Really? That's just silly. Maybe they're just trying to keep the balance of, okay, this is a rare, this is an uncommon. The rare, like, ban, which has this type of attack speed, blah, 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 needs to be better than the uncommon, so we have to make the uncommon have less damage. I guess that's probably their chain of thought. So same thing, 0.3 to 0.1. I almost built him out, and then I pulled Sigrun, so I'm glad I didn't. All right, you're all tied up. What is this one? The Frost Relic now. Same thing, 0.3 but to 0.2 for that skill 3 for the points. All right, and let's see. Storm Relic as well, active skill 3. 1.2 down to 0.4. That's so silly. They had such big... Maybe they just felt like everyone with these big multipliers with the attack speed thing was too broken, that people are just putting a shit ton of attack speed on them and less focus on like crit rate, crit damage, attack, and getting too much extra damage. I guess that's their way of adjusting the way that they plan that. I don't know. All right, here we got the Storm Relic active skill 3 as well, with the changes to the okay, 30 from 45% and 45% for the skill ups to 36% plus extra damage 9%. So the different parts are separated as far as the initial attack versus the bonus based on attack speed. And then Lionel, Flame Relic, active skill 3, Queen Bee's, Blistering Assault, from 0.9 to 0.2. Another one of these, everything that has these based on attack speed skills, they just completely rebalanced in this game. I mean, again, I'm just glad they're doing it now instead of at global launch. Okay, guys, this is a hard one. I'm torn. I'm on the side of the angry players in the sense of, why don't they just give us real compensation in case you did invest time and money, even though it is early access? It's still the right thing to do. However, I completely respect or I guess understand the side of a developer that's like, hey, this ain't global yet. Everything's subject to change. If you're gonna get upset, like that's, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know how they're gonna reply. Like, this just happened. And this is the first big, oh my god, negative since the early access reply. So maybe they do come out and reply with, we've heard your feedback and here is a way to reset your chivalry, or here's a bunch of rare chivalry points so you can put them on whoever you want to make up for using them on characters that are now nerfed. I don't know. So that's also the reality too, is we should stress as a community that if this happens during global, you better give us a better compensation than expecting us to use a hero reset token when we can't get our chivalry back. You should ideally provide us a way to get everything back. And then now we have to wait and see what their reply is as a company. We do expect communication and we hope they're still listening and hearing us and all that fun stuff. But I think we also have to exercise patience of giving them a chance to reply. So we need to be vocal, but also have understanding. There needs to be we need a balance just as much as these heroes needed a balance, apparently, I think. All right. Anyway, that's how I feel about these sort of changes in an early access phase. I think we need to communicate what we expect were this be global, but understand that it's not global.